Good day, students and viewers. You are welcome to the studios of Maths X. We are still on number-based systems. In our previous video, I taught you, my dear students, how to convert numbers in other bases to base 10. I also talked about converting fractions in other bases to base 10. In that video, I had put you through the expansion process, which is a case of writing superscripts on top of the place values of each of those numbers. I'm sure you were thoroughly enlightened on what to do when confronted with such mathematical operations. In today's class, I will be putting you through basic mathematical operations involving number base, and we will be starting with addition and subtraction. In this class, I will enlighten you on how to add and subtract in other bases. I know we are pretty very familiar with how to do it in base 10, even when you're even doing it ignorantly. But today, I will expose you to what you've been doing and, of course, what I want you to do. But just before we start today's class, it is our custom to recognize our subscribers for the week. Thank you so much for subscribing. You do us a lot of good. So, my dear students and viewers, for our basic operations involving number-based systems, like I told you earlier, we'll be starting with addition and subtraction of numbers, addition and subtraction in number-based systems. Um, Many of us are very, very acquainted with the base 10 counting system. And many a times we even add in base 10 without even knowing, I mean, add and subtract, I mean to say, without even knowing that that's what we are doing. But today, in today's class, I'll show you what you've been doing in base 10. And then I'll also put you through what I want you to be doing in other bases. I'll choose bases at random. And the steps are basically the same. Yes. But let us start with what you've been doing in base 10. Let's pick a few simple numbers to add and subtract in our base 10, which we've been doing. Randomly, I'll just take a number like 725 plus 632. Let's make it a little bigger. Let's make it 8638. So adding this, we have 725, 638. There's a plus sign, right? I know this is your units, this is your tens, and this is your hundred. In our last video, I talked about place value. So this is it. This will be your 10 to power 0. This will be your 10 to power 1. And this will be your 10 to power 2. The superscripts I was putting on top of those numbers. So in base 10, it's a bit more clearer there for most persons. So your 5 plus 8 is a 13. Remember, you're counting in base 10. The largest number in base 10 will be 9, right? It cannot cross 9. If it does, you carry. So we have here 5 plus 3, 5 plus 8 is 13. And you cannot write 13 in base 10, right? So you write a 3, and then you carry the 10 over to the tens the tens units. So we have here a 3 carry 1, which is the 10 you carried over. So 1 plus 3 is 1 plus 2 rather is a 3. 3 plus 3 is a 6. So that then the hundreds place value now, the hundreds units is 7 plus 6 is 13, right? So we have your 3 and you carried 1. This is how you add in base 10. But let's also look at the subtraction in base 10 of this same number. Permit me not to write it down again. I'll just take from here, but I'll be subtracting. So we have your 725, your units tens, and hundreds again. Minus this time around, your 638. So there we go. 5 minus 8 cannot. So you would borrow 1 from the tens units to add on the units column. So you now have 1 here when you borrow 1 from 2. So you have a 15 here. So 15 minus 8 is a 7. Now you have 1 here. 1 minus 3. 1 minus 3 cannot. All right. You borrow 1 from 7 here. You now have 6. And you have what? An 11 there. 11 minus 3. 11 minus 3 is what? 8. So I end up having 87. This is what we do in base 10. Notice that the counting is evolved, is evolving around a 10 counting format. But watch what I will do in other bases, the same addition and subtractions. So continuing our addition and subtraction in other bases, so let's try these 5 examples so that my dear students and viewers, you will see how to add numbers and subtract numbers in other bases. So for the examples, it says here, simplify the following. A, 432 base 5 plus 344 base 5. B, 110 base 2 plus 101 base 2. C, 1311 base 6 minus 545 base 6. D, 444 base 5 minus 324 base 5. E, 577 base 8 plus 657 base 8. As you can see, they are both addition and subtraction of numbers in other bases. Let us begin with the A part. For the A part, we have 432 at base 5 plus 344 at base 5. See, much the same things you do in your base 10. It's similar, but we will be adding in base 5. Watch, my dear students and viewers. It's not difficult. In base 5, nothing should cross a 5. The highest number you will have in base 5 will be a 4. Let's relate it. In base 10 that I did earlier, the highest notation or number in base 10 is a 9. Should anything cross a 10, should any number cross a 10 in your base 10 counting system, you would tend to subtract 10 from it. Maybe if it's a 12, you will say 12 minus 10, that's 2. You will drop that remainder and then carry over. So here also, should any addition cross 5, you would tend to say 6 minus 5, or let's use a 6. 6 minus 5, that will be a what? A 1. You will drop that 1 and carry over. So that's what I'm going to be doing here. So I have, first of all, 2 plus 4, 6. We are counting in base 5, mind you. So because it's a 6, we cannot write 6 in base 5. So we would say 6 minus 5, that's a 1. So we will drop the 1 here and carry over. So that's the carry, we are carrying 1 here, just like we do for the base 10, but just like we are counting in base 5. Again, 1 plus 3, 4. 4 plus 4, 8. You cannot write 8 in base 5. So you will say 8 minus 5, 3. You drop your 3 and carry over 1. Again, 4 plus 1, 5. 5 plus 3, 8. I cannot write 8 in base 5. So 8 minus 5, 3. I write that 3 and carried 1. That's the one I'm having here. This is in base 5. So 432 base 5 plus 344 base 5 is 1331 base 5. I hope you are getting the flow of this. Let's try another number, still an addition, and then we'll bring in the subtractions. For the B part, we have here 110 base 2 plus 101 base 2. 0 plus 1 is 1. As far as it doesn't cross the 2, the highest notation or number in base 2 will definitely be a 1. So 1 falls within the confines of base 2. So there is no problem. Then 1 plus 0 is still a 1. We are still good to go. But when we got here, 1 plus 1 is 2. You cannot write 2 in base 2, just like you cannot write 10 in a particular unit or place unit or value in base 10. You can't do that. So you have 1 plus 1 is a 2. You cannot write 2 in base 2. You cannot write 5 in a base 5. So we're going to 1 plus 1 is a 2. So 2 minus 2 is a 0. So I'm going to have a 0 and I'll carry 1 again. 1. The C part, this is a subtraction now, so it makes it interesting. So we have 1311 base 6 minus 545 base 6. Observe that this is a 4-digit number in base 6, but this is a 3-digit number still in base 6. So as I write, I'm conscious of their place values, and that's your units, tens, hundred, and 1,000. So this one has 1,000, this one stops at 100. So the arrangement is basically the same, just that I'm adding in base 6. So here I go again. 1 minus 5 in base 6 cannot, because the number on top should be bigger at least. So it cannot. I will borrow 1 from here, and I'm going to have a 0 remaining here. You know, there was 1 here already. So I'm borrowing 1 from 1, and that's a 0. But because it is in base 6, every 1 you borrow is a 6. In base 10, every 1 I borrow is a 10. But in base 6, every 1 you borrow is a 6. So when I borrow 1 from here, I'm taking 6 out of here. So you have a 6. We have a 6 plus 1 now. That's a 7. That's what we have here now, 7. So 7 minus 5 is a 2. Please understand me. Now, I have a 0 here. 0 minus 4 cannot. Like I said, the number on top should be bigger. So I will borrow 1 from here again, and I have a remainder of 2. That 1 I am borrowing is a what? A 6, because I'm counting in base 6. So we have a 6 here now. So 6 minus 4 is still a 2. Again, 2 that was remaining here, 2 minus 5 cannot. I will borrow 1 from here. So I have a 0 here now. Nothing is remaining. So 6 plus 2, I have 8 here now. So 8 minus 5 is a what? A 3. And since there's nothing here anymore, nothing I can do, so this is in base 6. I'll take more space on this part of the board. So D, we have 444 base 5 minus 324 base 5. 4 minus 4, 0. There's no problem there. 4 minus 2 is 2. 4 minus 3 is 1. This is base 5. This is a piece of cake. Subtraction. there is just no problem at all. It flows. I'm not borrowing from anywhere. It's just a direct subtraction. But let's try this last addition. So 7 plus 7 is 14. 14 in base 8, you cannot write that. So you will say 14 minus 8, which is what? A 6. Carry 1. 1 plus 7 is 8. 8 plus 5 is 13. 13 minus 8 again, that will be what? 5. So you have a 5 and then you carry 1. Because the number is beyond the 8 threshold. So anything beyond the 8 threshold, you drop the remainder and you carry. So you have a 1. 1 plus 5, 6. 6 plus 6, 12. 12 in base 8, you cannot write that. So you're going to drop the remainder and carry. So we have 12 minus 8, that is what? 4. Carry 1, base 8. So these are your answers. So, my dear students and viewers, I hope you've seen the exercises I've done and, of course, how I did the additions and the subtractions. I hope you've learned and you are thoroughly enlightened on how to add and subtract in base 10, in other bases, not just the base 10 that we'll be using. In our next class, my dear students and viewers, I will take you through the process of multiplying and possibly dividing in other bases. Till then, my dear students and viewers, keep watching the videos of Maths X, like, share,